What's up, everybody? Another beautiful day in the world of seclusion, social distancing. Hopefully you are coming up with creative ways to keep yourself busy. Maybe working on your business a little bit. Yesterday I did a hibachi for my kids. It came out fabulous. So I'm going to give it just a few seconds. Let some people start jumping on here, see what we can do to grow the business and help other business owners at the same time. What's up? Okay, see a few people jumping on here. So we'll get going in a minute. I know this is a little impromptu. So, I got my nice new whiteboard, handy dandy. Kind of exciting, right? Maybe if you're like me and you get excited by stuff like that. So I'm going to give it just a few more seconds here and then we'll kind of jump into this. And you've probably seen me around a little bit, and if not, that's cool too. Be more than happy to, again, introduce myself. Video for you to share something that I shared with our students in Bossless around the challenges that business owners are going to be facing now, as well as later as we all kind of try to conform to this new COVID-19 lifestyle. So I figured I'd take a minute, share this with you as well, because I think it's going to be a great way if you're working with business owners currently, or even if you're trying to be a leader in your community, to help them not only focus on the task at hand, but also prepare for what's going to come down the pipe in the future. So a few things, and we can get into this. Right now, we know that business owners are faced with a number of challenges. So they have challenges now that they're really focused on, right? So they're basically putting out fires. They're trying to figure out how, given 24 hours notice shutdown, they are going to make up revenues that are lost. They are going to, what they're going to do with their excess inventory. What restaurants are going to do with food that's going to go bad or sour. I just saw, for instance, a client of mine who owns an ice cream franchise here, that he's trying to get rid of the whipped cream that they have in stock because it's going to go bad. So there's a lot of things that business owners are dealing with right now, and they're trying to figure out how they overcome these challenges that they're having right now due to the shutdown. But unfortunately, what they're not so focused on are the challenges that are going to appear in their business later, when the market opens back up, when business is open and people are able to resume their normal life, when people are flooding out into the streets because they're tired of being cooped inside all day and they want to go eat at restaurants and they want to go have a cocktail and they want to go to the movies and they want to go shop and enjoy friends and family again. Business owners are so focused on the now that they're not necessarily thinking about the later. And this is going to be a huge problem for them if they don't think about how they're going to deal with the influx of customers. Okay, so let's think about this strategically, right? So right now, problems are they have no customer base. No customers, right? Customers can't come visit them. They can't spend money with them. They're not buying. They're not selling their dishes. They're not selling their stock. They're pretty much not even probably offering their services. Think of your local spas, your local hair salons, things like this. So they have no customers, which means revenue is significantly cut, right? Supplies and inventory. Okay, maybe they can't get in touch with their accountants, their financial advisors. They're staying on hold. Trust me, have y'all tried calling E-Trade? Hold times for support to run their businesses or to figure out how to survive. So right now, they're all focused on these things, and these are real life problems for local business owners. It's a struggle. The struggle is real, right? As they say. But here's how this is going to have a trickle-down effect to later challenges, okay? So this trickle-down effect over here from what they're experiencing and what they're focused on, from having no customers, no revenues, overstocked inventory, and challenges with getting support and help for what they need to deal with right now, is going to trickle down into later problems as people surge the market, right? There's going to be this influx all of a sudden, because as quick as this was put into play is probably as quick as it's going to be lifted. Okay, so what's going to happen is later they're going to be dealing with more customers than they've probably ever had before at one given time. Okay, so think about this in terms of a restaurant. Okay, you're a local restaurant. You're used to running 4,000 tickets a day for your normal base of customers, right? Your regulars, 4,000 tickets a day. Now, all of a sudden, those same regulars who have been locked up in their house for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, we don't know how long this is going to be, get released back in the general population. What do you think is the first thing they're going to want to do? They're going to want to go out to eat. They're going to want to meet with friends. They're going to want to make up that birthday they missed. They're going to want to get back together and, like I said, have a cocktail and just have good conversation in person. So even the regulars that are going to be coming back are going to be joined by the newcomers, the people who don't go out to eat that often, the people who aren't regulars. They're going to want to get out too. So now, when you're accustomed to running 4,000 tickets a day, maybe now, as this surge of new traffic comes into your establishment, you're running 6,000. That's an increase of 2,000 possible tickets per day. Can your location support that? Can you support the extra influx of customers that you're going to get? Well, that goes back to our nail problems, right? And I actually forgot one over here, and I'm going to add it. Employees. Right? Because they're laying off people, which means, or even if they're not, even if they're just giving them a temporary suspension of work, that means that these people need to find other sources of income. So they might find other jobs. They might not be back when you're ready to open your doors. So now you're running more tickets because you've had this surge of people who have been locked in their houses, locked in confinement, essentially, for all this time. When they come and they hit your business, will you be able to handle this? Will you have the supplies on hand to support not only the ones that you're used to, but the new ones that are coming? Will you have the staff to be able to support this? Will you have the support? Will you have the revenue to be able to sink in, to expand, to put more seating in, so these people don't have to wait hours to sit at a table? It's going to be an issue. And what's going to happen if you don't? What's going to happen if you can't support it? And I'm going to continue using a restaurant as my example here. People are going to be waiting, right? Let me change colors here. They're going to wait longer to sit. Nature of the beast. You can't instantly make a restaurant bigger than it already is. Maybe you're going to have a selected menu or a limited menu. So maybe because of the supply issue, right? So now, let me erase that. Now, people are coming in. They've already waited to be seated. And all they've been wanting is your world famous chicken quesadilla. And now you tell them, oh, I'm sorry. That's not on the menu today because we didn't get our supplies in. Or all the chicken went bad while we were closed. Strike two. So you have strike one here. Now you have strike two with that customer. Your staff is limited. Takes 15 to 20 minutes just to get a drink. Who's been there? Who's been there where you go and you sit at a restaurant and you've already been waiting. I just got ink on my hand. You've already been waiting. Now you finally sit down and I lost the top to my pen. You finally sit down and the waitress never comes. You don't get the menus. You start getting more and more annoyed because you're getting a little bit hangry and all you've been wanting is chicken quesadilla. And in the back of your head, you're going, all right, look, I'm going to deal with this because I've already waited an hour to sit here and I'm craving this chicken quesadilla. I haven't eaten all morning. I'm starved. She finally comes, takes your drink order. You get your water with lemon. You go to order your chicken quesadilla and she tells you can't get it. Customer experience, guys. It's going to suffer in the later if you don't have a plan for it. Because what's going to happen? When are people most likely to share their opinion, their review of a local business? When they're disgruntled, when they're mad, when they're angry. So now Karen is going to get on, she's going to get on Facebook, she's going to get on Yelp, and she's going to blow this poor business owner up. Because God forbid we had to wait, couldn't get our drinks, service sucked, and then all I wanted was this damn chicken quesadilla and I can't even get that. What kind of establishment is this? And people don't do it to hurt business owners. It's just that they're frustrated. And it's going to be even worse after being cooped in for weeks at a time. So business owners need to be more proactive about what they're going to do about these later challenges. You know, I think it's that our responsibility as business consultants, as, you know, marketing agents, as people who are out there trying to help local businesses grow and expand and, you know, improve their business overall, to enlighten them as to, yes, I know you're fighting these fires right now. I know there's a lot going on, but we need to think about this too. Because if you don't start thinking 50 steps ahead, even if you make it through this, you may not make it through this. So how do you set yourself up now, right? There's nothing you can do about all these things right now. Nothing you can do. You can't open your doors. You might be able to sell off some of your excess inventory. You know, you might be able to retain some of your employees if you're still paying them, if you have the capital to do that. But as of now, a lot of this you don't have control over. What you do have control over is your comeback. So let's make a strategic plan for what this is going to look like when this new surge starts hitting and how you're going to capture this opportunity and make the most of it. Okay? And I have a few ideas. So let me erase some of this. How do you approach those challenges later? Well, number one, expect it, right? Plan for it. Know that there's going to be a surge. Possibly create right now a limited menu if you were a restaurant. Right? What are 80%? Where do 80% of your menu sales come from? Right? Plan for understanding where you're going to get that supply and have a limited menu. Maybe the first month after COVID, right? Call it your COVID-19 menu. Right? Share that on your Facebook. Run an ad about it. Let diners and customers know that you're planning for the comeback. Hey, you know, we appreciate all of our patrons in the past, and let us tell you what we're doing moving forward, because we know how hard it's going to be. Consider getting up there and telling a story in video from the owner saying, hey, look, we all know we're in this together right now. And what we don't want is for you to come to our establishment and have to wait an hour for a table, have to wait 15 minutes for a drink because we've had to, you know, because we have a shortage of employees, or have not the supplies that we need in order to cook the food that you're wanting. So here's what we're doing in preparation for that. Because we want to still be of best service to you as possible. We want to be your regular place to go to. And we want to make sure that none of our quality goes down because you are our most important asset. Okay? So think about having, and this is again, is using the restaurant example, but this goes for any business. Still be forward looking about how you're going to react to this. So, and just be proactive about it versus reactive and dealing with, the repercussion of poor customer experiences. So maybe they could have a limited menu, right? Put it out there. Let people know. They're going to have capital. They're going to be in a capital crunch. This is a perfect time for all business owners to raise your prices. I know, I sound crazy, right? But if you think about it, if you're a restaurant owner and you're shut down for 2 weeks, you're shut down. Nobody's there. Nobody can order from you, right? Increase your prices. Why? Because I can promise you that the last time I went out to eat, and it was probably just a week ago, I don't remember that I paid $9.97 for that hamburger, not $10.97. So if you were thinking about increasing your prices in the past, this is going to be the perfect time to do it because there's going to be a gap in purchases. So it's going to have less of an impact on people. They're not going to notice it as much as if they were there yesterday. So imagine you're running, using that first example, imagine that you're running 4,000 tickets a day at this restaurant. And your average ticket is $20. Right? That's $8,000. For that, let me get my calculator. Oh, this is bad. You would never think I was a finance major. $4,000 times 20. That's $80,000 a day, right? On average. Now, let's say you can get this average ticket value by increasing your prices up to $22. Not a huge increase, right? Now, running those same 4,000 tickets, you're going to be making an additional $8,000 a day, which is big for a restaurant. That's roughly $250,000 a month. From going from $20 to $22 as an average ticket price. Not rocket science, guys. It's not. And like I said, it's a great opportunity to help you get some more capital. People are not going to notice small tweaks in various areas. You also might want to say, maybe to deal with, what was the other challenge I mentioned? Wait times. Do some extra coaching right now for your staff. Put them on a virtual Zoom call. Put them, make little videos like this where you can help them. This is what, our service expectations are going to be for when we get back to work, guys. These are some things that we're going to put into play. Make sure that there's processes specifically around how your service can be better. What are they going to have to deal with? What are they going to expect? How are you going to make this a positive experience for anyone that's coming into your establishment? So again, I know that a lot of business owners, all business owners right now, are dealing with challenges, in some in different capacities, but all typically around the same items: your capital, your employees, and your revenue. And we're honed in on that. We're focused on it. But the problem becomes that if we don't also look at the challenges to come later, you're going to put yourself as a business owner in a much stickier spot in the long term and really start to see a big decline if you don't think about this, if you don't think about how you're going to bounce back. So my strategic advice to you is to really sit down and think about what you can do to help local business owners. If you have clients now, think about what they're struggling with. What could be their challenges later that they're going to be faced with? It might be a gym owner. It might be a bookkeeper or an accountant. It might be a restaurant. It might be a local salon or a boutique. Whatever it might be. It might be a local plumber. Figure out what their challenges are going to be later and help them create a plan for it. Put a blueprint together, a marketing plan as to how you need to approach this once COVID-19 is said and done, once we're all repopulating the planet again, right? And really think about charging for your help, right? So if you're going to put together something for these business owners to help them get through this, shouldn't you get paid for your time as well? Shouldn't you get paid for the strategies that you're coming up with, for thinking outside of the box? Because sometimes for someone like you, it's going to be a little bit easier because you're not stuck in their box. I know for me, sometimes it's a lot easier when I feel like I'm stuck or I have kind of writer's block or whatever it might be to get an outside perspective because they're not thinking about my business in the same light as I am. So think about what you can structure as a blueprint, as a plan for overcoming the challenges when COVID-19 is over, putting it together for these business owners and charging them a fee for it. It's fair. This is a business, guys. Remember, I talked about before taking the emotion out of it. You've got to think logically about you and your family and your business as well. But when people see how much you care, they'll be willing to pay you for your help, your advice, and your support. So that's my 2 cents today on helping local business owners through COVID-19. Put it into play. Try it out. What's the worst that could happen, right? Help somebody else save their business too. I'll talk to you guys soon.